Hi students, welcome back to Bio class. I'm Savita, your bio teacher. And in today's section, we are going to be discussing about the assignment question that you have solved. So I hope you have marked the right option. If yes, let's see how many are correct. Hopefully all should be correct. Now with this, we are going to start with the class assignment based question on the topic of human reproduction, one of the important topic. And as usual, I hope all of you know your basic things. Read the question properly first. Please don't look into the option because I want you to come up with your option first. Only then look into the four option which is given according to the question. So let's see our first question from this assignment based topic. All of the following are found in seminiferous tubule except Leydig cells are not found because they are found outside. So this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. So my answer is what? Option C, Leydig cell. You already know it. It is present outside the lobules. And which is the place? Interstitial tissue. Okay. Now with this, let's move on to the next question. Menstrual flow occurs due to. In the discussion part of the topic itself, I have told you low level of progesterone is the one which is going to initiate the menstrual cycle. So it is not FSH, vasopressin released from posterior pituitary does not have any role to play in this particular topic. Oxytocin is produced for contraction of smooth muscles, that is during parturition or ejection of milk. So option B is also wrong. So thereby our answer becomes what? Progesterone. Okay. Next. This is the chart which is present in your textbook. I want you to understand the topic very clearly because when you start with first to the initial 5 days, it clearly says that endometrium wall is going to break down. If you see this particular image here, that says that purple color lining of progesterone decline to initiate what is called as menstrual cycle. Because there is decline in both of estrogen and progesterone, you will see which hormone here? FSH. So follicular stimulating hormone, which is said to be the green line here, increases, which brings about growth of the follicle. Has the growth of the follicle occurred? The granulosa cells started to increase, thereby increasing which hormone? Please check estroidal. When estroidal hormone increased, it brought about increase of which hormone from the pituitary? LH. Due to increase in LH, which is known as LH surge, the completely grown follicle, which is known as Graafian follicle, ruptures and releases the ovum, which is intaken into the oviduct by the fimbriae. The process of rupture of Graafian follicle and release of ovum is known as ovulation, which took place exactly on 14th day of 28-day menstrual cycle. Then the ruptured Graafian follicle, which is still present in the ovary, transformed itself into an yellow colored structure, which is known as corpus luteum. As soon as the corpus luteum was formed, please check which hormone increased here? Progesterone, making sure endometrium wall becomes furthermore thick, and if the process of fertilization occurs, it should maintain pregnancy. If the sperm is not coming to bring about the fertilization, slowly the structure is going to lose its form. It transforms into a small white color structure which is known as corpus albicans. Thereby progesterone level decline, starting of menses occurred. So I hope you followed this chart. I want you to spend some time studying this particular chart because you may have or you will have a question from this particular topic for sure. With this, let's move on to the next part of the topic. Which one of the following hormone is secreted by corpus luteum? Definitely it is progesterone. It's not going to be testosterone, androgen, not oxytocin. Oxytocin is produced from hypothalamus neurosecretory cells stored in the posterior part of pituitary. It's not going to be vasopressin because vasopressin is the other hormone secreted from which one? The hypothalamus part stored in posterior pituitary. So thereby our answer is progesterone, and I hope that even you have marked the answer progesterone. Next, human primary spermatocyte contains what? 22 pairs of autosome. Because I'm talking about primary, they have not undergone meiosis. So it should be 22 pairs with X and Y. So it just says 22 autosome, wrong. Here also 22 autosome, wrong. 22 autosome, wrong. So my answer becomes 22 pairs of autosome and XY chromosome. So thereby my answer becomes what? Option B for this particular question. Now next, which of the following month the first movement of the fetus, appearance of hair? Definitely it is the 5th month. Please check out your textbook for this. You have different stages in development taking place. Read your NCRT. So it's not 3rd month, it is not 4th month, it is not 6th month. Answer becomes 5th month. Okay. Next, column 1 contains the term and 2 contains the definition. So I think this is the first paragraph of this particular topic which gives the terms and the definition. Now let us see what's going to be our answer. Parturition stands for delivery of the baby. So that means A is 3. So here you go. This is gone, this is gone, this is gone. So thereby my answer becomes what? Option C. One of the question which saves our time. So let us cross check. Gestation period. Gestation period is what? Duration between pregnancy and birth. Next is ovulation. So may I say ovulation refers to release of egg from the Graafian follicle. Implantation, attachment of the zygote to endometrium. Next comes conception. Conception stands for what? Formation of zygote and fertilization. So option is 5. So thereby our answer is option C. So go ahead, mark your answer or check whether you have marked it correctly. Be sure with what the definition is said in your NCRT. Next, rebuilding of endometrium takes place. Okay, when the endometrium falls, when follicular stimulating hormone plays, estrogen is secreted. Estrogen brings about development of endometrium. So definitely it's going to be follicular phase. It's not menstrual phase. It's not ovulatory phase. Before the ova's being released, there should be thickening up of endometrium wall, not starting of luteal phase, because luteal phase, the wall becomes much more thicker. So thereby your answer is what? Follicular phase. Thereby answer becomes option B for this question. Next, the fetal ejection reflex in human triggers the release of what? Fetal ejection reflex. That means the baby has to be delivered out. Mother's pituitary should be releasing oxytocin hormone. Exactly, oxytocin from the maternal pituitary, but I have to cross check the other option. HCG, definitely wrong. As soon as the implantation occurred, HCG started to produce. Question is fetal ejection reflex. Human placental lactogen, definitely wrong. Oxytocin from not fetal. So thereby this is wrong. Your answer is option A. We have marked it correctly. Next comes, which one of the following hormone is responsible for uterine contraction during parturition? Again, it is going to be oxytocin, not vasopressin, not relaxin. It's going to be oxytocin. It's not going to be prolactin. So please remember the work of oxytocin, ejection of milk from the mammary glands and help in childbirth. Next, read the following 3 statements related to human male reproductive system. Male reproductive system, and choose the correct option stating which one is true and which one is false. Now let us see. Middle piece of the spermatozoon is also termed as powerhouse, definitely, because we do come across what is called as mitochondria. Vas deferens joins the duct from seminal vesicles from vasa efferentia. Wrong, it should be epididymis. Semen is collection of secretion of seminal vesicle, prostate gland, Cowper's gland, and the sperm from the testis. So your option should be what? True, false, true. So this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Option D is our answer. So I hope even you have marked your answer correctly. Option D becomes your answer. Next, the transformation of spermatids to spermatozoon is known as what? Not insemination, not spermiation, release of the sperm from the Sertoli cell into the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. Okay, wrong. Spermatogenesis, wrong. It is spermiogenesis. Formation of sperm from spermatid is known as spermiogenesis. So go ahead, mark your answer as option B for this question. Next, given below is an incomplete flow chart showing the influence of hormones. Let us see. Hypothalamus, G, N, R, H. Okay. So definitely C and D is wrong. Anterior pituitary releases FSH, LH. There you go. This is wrong. B is also wrong. FSH, LH. So now it is uterus here. Definitely we are talking about C as ovary. Now in the ovary, the hormone produced will be estrogen and progesterone. So answer becomes option A. So mark your answer as option A. We already marked it, but I counter check whether we know it. So please know the play of hormones here. So option A is marked. Let's move on to the next question. Given below is unorganized list of some important events in human female reproductive system. Identify the correct sequence of events. Choose the correct option. Okay, so let's see what are the events. Okay, it's again about the chart itself. If you have to start, we need to have growth of the follicle. If growth of the follicle has to occur, we require FSH hormone. So marking first one as FSH. So I will remove A. I will remove B also. If FSH occurs, I can say growth of the follicle and oogenesis took place. Okay, so if growth of follicle and oogenesis took place, it should be 3. So this is correct. 3 is correct here. This is correct. 3 is wrong. So D is also wrong. Let us counter check. Now sudden growth of the follicle, increased estrogen. Estrogen, what about increase of LH? Correct. After that, after this occurred. When LH occurred, ovulation took place. Ovulation occurred means Graafian follicle transformed into corpus luteum. Definitely our answer is option C. Go ahead, mark your answer as option C for this particular question. Okay, fill in the blanks in the following paragraph by selecting. Finally, we have fill in the blanks based question also. During coitus, semen is released by the penis into the vagina and it is called what? Insemination. Let us check whether we have this word insemination. Parturition gone, ovulation gone, insemination, I'm marking it, fertilization gone. Okay, insemination released. Okay, insemination. Fine, we finished. Where did we stop? Okay, the ovum released by the ovary is transported to that of where it is transported to the ampullary isthmic junction for the process of what? Fertilization. Okay. Fertilization takes place. During fertilization, a sperm comes into contact with zona pellucida layer. Make sure layer of the ovum, which not only counter checks the sperm belongs to the same species also, it includes the changes of the membrane to block polyspermy. So no more sperm should come to enter. So zona pellucida made sure monospermy. A layer of ovum that induces large changes in the membrane that blocks the entry of other sperm. Okay, the secretion of the acrosome helps the sperm to enter into the cytoplasm of the ovum. Definitely our answer, which is marked as C, is said to be the right option. Next, study the given statement and identify the option which is correct regarding umbilical cord. So umbilical cord, it carries oxygen, nutrients from the placenta. Correct. It joins the placenta and the embryo. Very true. It carries waste and the nutrients from the embryo. Very correct. It carries steroidal hormones. It should not carry steroidal hormones. So first 3 questions are said to be correct. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. And answer is option D. 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Only correct. Okay. Next, after the birth, colostrum is released from the mammary gland, which is rich in. It has more protein, antibodies, proteins and low fat. It is correct. Fat and low proteins. It is wrong. Proteins, antibodies. Very correct. And proteins, fat, low antibodies. Wrong. So the more precise option is going to be option C. So we are marking option C, not the option A. So 17th question answer is option C. So go ahead, mark your answer as option C. Next, assertion. In human males, testes are extra abdominal and lie in the scrotal sac. So do you agree? Yes. The scrotum sac is thermoregulatory, keeps the testicular temperature lower than 2 degrees Celsius for spermatogenesis to occur. That is the reason why testis descends. If it is not going to descend, that condition, which is known as cryptorchidism, does not allow spermatogenesis to occur. So thereby, both option A and B is correct, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. So thereby, my answer is option A because it says correct and the correct explanation. So I'm going to remove all the other 3 options. So option A becomes our answer. Next, which layer develops first during embryonic development? Now, please remember, when we studied what is called as blastocyst, we did come across the cells which are clustered in one particular region. We call it as embryonic knob, followed with what is called as blastulation. You come across gastrulation, and in gastrulation the blastocele cavity becomes what is called as archenteron, whereas the inner cells are the one which is going to move around to produce the other layer. So those inner cells will be called as endodermic cell. So I will not choose the option ectoderm. Mesoderm is formed because of ecto and endoderm. So my answer becomes endoderm, not both B and C. Okay. So this is also your NCERT question. Please read the sentences of your NCERT. Next, which one of the following is not the function of placenta? Placenta secretes estrogen. Yes, it secretes. Secretes oxytocin. Wait, not a function, right? Oxytocin is not the function. Facilitates the removal of carbon dioxide and waste from the maternal embryo. Correct. Facilitates the supply of oxygen and nutrients to the embryo. Correct. So thereby my answer becomes option D, and option D is not a function of placenta. Next, study the given statement and choose the correct option. Now let us see. Uterus opens into the cervix. Uterus opens into the cervix. Wrong. Vagina. Okay. The cavity of the cervix along with the vagina forms what? Birth canal. Correct. So first statement is wrong, second statement is correct. Statement 1, both are correct, wrong. Statement 1 and 2 are incorrect, wrong. Statement 1 is incorrect, statement 2 is correct. Option C. But let us see the last one. Statement 1 is incorrect. It is given as correct. So answer is option C for this particular question. I hope that you have marked it correctly. LH surge occurs during which phase of menstrual cycle? Which phase? During ovulation, right? So now let us see. At the beginning, definitely not. Just before the end of definitely not. At the middle, yes. 14th day is the date we have given. Menstrual phase, not at all. So 14th day at the middle of the cycle. Next, identify the human development stage shown as well as the related right place of its. So blastocyst development, where implantation has to occur, is that particular stage, and it should be in the region of the uterus. Occurrence in normal pregnant women, and choose the correct option together. Okay, blastula word came wrong. It is not morula, it is wrong. It is not late morula because I can say embryonic knob is clearly visible. So it should be option D, and it is present in the uterine wall. So thereby my answer becomes option D for this question. So please know the topic. Okay. So thereby 23's answer is option D. Assertion. Primary spermatocyte of the testis is diploid, not haploid, because meiosis occurs later. These are formed from spermatogonia by mitosis. This is correct. So both A and B are correct. Wrong. Both A and R are correct. Wrong. A is incorrect and R is correct. Correct. A is correct. Okay, so thereby my answer becomes what? Option C. Go ahead, mark your answer as option C for this question. Okay, so next question. Oogenesis haploid egg is fertilized by the sperm at which stage? A very good question. It is not going to be oogonium. It is not going to be ovum or primary spermatocyte. It is said to be secondary oocyte. Is the stage where fertilization occurs, and only if fertilization occurs, meaning if a sperm is going to penetrate into the egg, oogenesis gets completed. Otherwise, oogenesis never gets completed in case of females. Next, identify the parts A to F from the given diagram. Oh my god, the diagram is very complicated. Let us first mark whatever we know. Okay, let's start marking with what is called as A. So I don't know where exactly A is placed. So I know what is C. Let me write it as uterus. Okay. I think D also we know. That's going to be definitely urinary bladder. Sometimes, if the diagram is not clear, you can mark it with the other things. So with this, let us see what is our option. I have marked C has what? C has uterus. Okay, C has uterus. So let us see. C here is uterus, correct. Okay. D is urethra. So option D is gone. C is urinary bladder, wrong. C is urinary bladder, gone. Then definitely C should be what? Uterus. D should be urinary bladder. Now let us cross check. E is clitoris. F is vaginal orifice. Very true. A is cervix. So very clear. And B becomes vagina. So answer is option D. Mark your answer as option D for this question. Okay. If there is confusion in your diagram, please do the way I did. Okay. Next. If for some reason the vasa efferentia in human reproductive system gets blocked, the gametes will not be transferred from. Vasa efferentia is blocked, is it? Definitely it will not go to the region of epididymis. So ovary doesn't even come into play. Testis to epididymis may be true. Epididymis to vas difference, definitely not. Definitely not. So your answer becomes what? Testis to that of epididymis. Option C is your answer for this question. Next. Read the graph carefully and correlate with the hormones on. Okay. Okay. 1 to 5 days. This is 1 to 5 days. So in 1 to 5 days, can I say this particular stage is said to be FSH? And FSH is going down. So I will say FSH started to decrease. And LH is going up. So LH increases. So first statement, LH is increasing, correct. And FSH decreases, correct. Second. Next he says 12th and 14th day. So 12th and 14th day comes here. So LH is at its peak exactly. And FSH is also increasing, correct. So it's correct. Next. 25 to 28 days, we have come to this phase. So it says LH level decreased, yes, LH is low and FSH level is maintained. Is it maintained? So it's a straight line, right? It is maintained. Yes, true. So I feel this is correct, but we don't know what is the other option. It's not at peak, wrong. This increased, this decreased. Second statement, let us go back to the diagram. Second statement, LH is at peak and FS is at peak. So here it is decreased. Okay, so this is wrong. LH decreases, no. LH was increasing, FSH was decreasing. So wrong, wrong, wrong. So thereby our answer becomes option A. Please check such kind of diagram comes, relate your question, then tend to answer your question correctly. So thereby for 28th question, my answer is going to be option A. Next, in our society, woman is often blamed for producing a female child, but actually cause of occurrence of female progenies in human is, we know the sex of the child is determined by what kind of sperm is going to bring about fertilization. So the X sperm fuses with the X egg, you get female. If it is Y with X, it is going to be male. So thereby our answer is going to be genetic makeup of a particular sperm which fertilizes the egg. I feel this is correct. Some defects, wrong. Some defects, wrong. genital makeup of the egg. Completely wrong. So answer is option A. Let's see the next question. The question says, in the given diagram shows sectional view of seminiferous tubule which is marked from A to D. So if you check D, it is going to be Sertoli cells, right? And this is primary spermatocyte. B is secondary spermatocyte. Okay. So he says undergoes second meiotic division. Secondary spermatocyte should undergo second division in order to produce 4 equal haploid cells, which is known as spermatid. So our secondary spermatocyte is option B. So thereby our answer is B. So go ahead, mark your answer as option B and make sure you read and understand the labelings of your NCERT diagram. With this, we have come to the end of this particular topic. That means in the next class, we shall be discussing the synopsis of reproductive health. Until then, please keep solving many MCQs. Take care of yourself and the people around you. Bye for now.